Yo, what's up everybody? I'm here with XFL Week 1 recap. Basically, what I'm going to be doing is just talking over what happened in Week 1 of the XFL, like recapping scores, stats, plays, stuff like that. That's pretty much it. If you want to see me do this like for Week 2, so on and so forth, comment down below, leave it a like, show support, and then I'll keep doing it, because why not? But there was 4 games this week. There's been 4 games every week, and the first game of the week was the Seattle Dragons versus the DC Defenders. The DC Defenders won 31-19 in pretty good fashion, and the way the XFL is kind of looks like it's working is that rushing is not that effective, as there was no rushing touchdowns and neither team rushed for over 100 yards. It was pretty rough. For DC, Cardale Jones he played pretty well. He had 235 passing yards and 2 passing touchdowns, 1 to Rashad Ross and 1 to Khalil Lee. And then Eli Rogers had 6 receptions for 73 yards. Pretty good performance for him. And then on the Seattle side, Brandon Silvers did not play as well. He threw 2 picks, but 3 touchdowns, 217 yards. 2 of those touchdowns going to Austin Crowell. Sorry if I mispronounce it, and sorry if I don't say any first names. I'm not good with these names really yet. I know the last names on them, but that's really it. And then T. Williams caught the 3rd touchdown for Seattle. On the defensive side, there was Thurman had 8 tackles. I don't know these people's names, I'm sorry. R. Moore for DC had a pick, and B. Silv had a pick for DC also. And this game didn't really have any big defensive standout players. Like no one really did super amazing. Most tackles in it was 8. I mean, good overall game though for DC. It was just a good first game for like the XFL. DC played pretty well. They're kind of coming out showing that they may be top dogs in the league, but who knows? Who knows? Alright, the second game on Saturday was the Los Angeles Wildcats versus the Houston Roughnecks, as Houston won 37-17. This game at least had some more rushing, where both teams had a rushing touchdown. For Houston, Jay Butler had a touchdown, and on the Wildcats, Chris Canoff had a touchdown, their quarterback. For the Roughnecks, they had a very, very good game. Philip Walker had 4 touchdowns passed, 272 yards, and he spread the ball to a lot of players for the touchdowns. One of them to Jay Butler, who had a rushing touchdown. 1 to S. Mobley, 1 to Khalil Lewis, and 1 to Cam Phillips. 4 touchdowns, most for any quarterback so far. Cam Phillips did have a 50-yard touchdown, one of the longest plays so far in the league. Philip Walker did throw an interception though, and we'll get to that later. For the Wildcats, Chris Canoff did have 1 pick, and Jay McClendon threw a pick also, coming in late in the game, not doing much. Canoff did have 1 touchdown pass, and that was to Jay Smallwood. Nick Spruce had 11 receptions and the first 100-yard game for any player in the XFL here. On the defensive side, the Roughnecks sacked the quarterback a lot. 6 times, I'm pretty sure. 2, 3, 4, 5 times, I mean. L. Lewis had 2 sacks and a forced fumble. Very good game for him. D. Nichols had a sack and a pick and 5 tackles. Very good game also for him. And then on the Wildcat side, it was nothing really special. The most tackles anyone had was 4. No one's really getting a ton of tackles in this because there's a lot of subs, and there's not as many plays in general in this league because the way the speed in it is a little faster and all. So that's just that. Good game by the Roughnecks. Not as great of a game overall as the DC one, but still good game overall. Alright, to start off Sunday, was the Tampa Bay Vipers versus the New York Guardians. Starting off the Guardians game, Matt McClellan had a QB sneak rushing touchdown, and he also threw another touchdown, and that was to Colby Pearson. McKay had a crazy nice diving catch for 45 yards right before the Colby Pearson touchdown. Beautiful play. I recommend watching. Hopefully I'll put it in the video somewhere. I'm not sure if I will. But Aaron Murray threw 2 picks, but he also threw to D. Williams 9 times, where he caught 6 of them for 123 total yards. Most receiving yards in the league so far. And then for rushing wise, D. Smith for the Vipers did have 79 rushing yards. Most in the league, I'm pretty sure right now. I may not be completely right, but very good game. For defense, it was Benji Rotimi had a monster game. 9 total tackles, 1 sack, and 1 forced fumble. W. Sutton had 2 sacks. The Guardians just had a ton of sacks. They had five sacks, and they had 2 picks. They had forced fumbles, 3 of them to be exact. They only recovered 1, but still 3 forced fumbles is very impressive, as the Vipers did not have a great game defensively, as they gave up 23 points. No one was a standout defensive player. Most tackles on their team was 5 by M. Branch. And going into the final game of the week. So this one was the St. Louis Battlehawks versus the Dallas Renegades, as the Battlehawks won 15-9. Renegades were throwing a lot of heat, saying they were like the best team in the league, all on social media and stuff, and they lost to St. Louis. Pretty bad. K. Ford had a rushing touchdown for them, and Jordan Teamu threw a passing touchdown with 209 yards, and then Patrick Nelson for Dallas also had 209 passing yards. And then the person who caught the touchdown was A. Russell for St. Louis. No big standout performances really in this game. On offense, at least, M. Jones did have 85 rushing yards. That does lead the league in rushing category at least. And on defense, D. Hillary had 9 tackles for St. Louis. And then 2 players on St. Louis both had 8 tackles and 1 sack each. And it is D. McCoyle and T. Garvin. I'm sorry, I don't know these players' first names. Not many people would fully right now. It's a learning process for all of us. And then on Dallas' side, they had 2 players with 5 tackles and a sack, and that was F. Alexander and T. Scales. But that's pretty much it for week 1. It's shown a good taste of how the league can be. Hopefully everything can be promising and the league continues to go very well. Hopefully we all learn more. Hopefully I learn players' first names more in every single one of them, because if I want to keep making these videos, I gotta know the names. But that's basically all for me. If you want me to keep doing these, please drop a like, subscribe, comment, do all that stuff.